If you are eating reasonably well, trying to stay active, and still struggling with cravings, hunger, and weight gain, your problem may not only be food, it may be sleep. A lot of people treat sleep like a bonus, something nice to have after work is done. But research suggests that short sleep can make future obesity more likely, increase calorie intake, and worsen insulin sensitivity. So in this video, we are answering a simple but important question. Can poor sleep actually make you gain weight? And if it can, what should you do about it? Welcome to Evidence That Works. Everything in this video is based on peer-reviewed scientific research linked in the description. Let's dive in. Context. Here is the first thing to understand. Weight is not only about willpower, it is also about biology, and sleep affects some of the systems that shape hunger, food choices, energy levels, and metabolic control. That means poor sleep can push you toward weight gain from more than one direction. You may feel hungrier. You may crave more high-calorie food. You may move less, and your body may handle glucose less efficiently after sleep loss. So this is not just about being tired. It is about how sleep changes behavior and metabolism at the same time. Body. Let's start with the strongest big-picture finding. Large prospective analyses found that short sleep duration was associated with a significantly higher risk of future obesity in adults, with pooled estimates around 1.4 times higher risk compared with normal sleep duration. That does not mean every short sleeper will gain weight, but it does mean the pattern shows up again and again when researchers follow people over time. Now let's look at what may be driving that pattern. First, poor sleep often increases calorie intake. In one controlled study, modest sleep restriction over several days was associated with a significant increase in caloric intake, while activity-related energy expenditure did not meaningfully increase. In that study, people under sleep restriction consumed hundreds of extra calories per day on average. That matters. Because if energy intake rises and energy expenditure does not rise enough to offset it, weight gain becomes much more likely over time. Second, sleep restriction can increase hunger and snacking. Experimental work has shown that even one night of moderate sleep restriction can raise next-day calorie intake and hunger. Other randomized work under free living conditions found that snack consumption and carbohydrate-related intake rose with sleep restriction. This is one reason bad sleep often leads to, "I just need something sweet" behavior. Not because discipline disappears, because your biology starts leaning in that direction. Third, poor sleep can hurt glucose control. A classic controlled study found that even a single night of partial sleep deprivation reduced insulin sensitivity in healthy adults, with about a 25% drop in glucose infusion requirements during clamp testing. That is a big deal, because poorer insulin sensitivity can make energy regulation harder and may contribute to long-term metabolic problems if sleep loss becomes chronic. Fourth, short sleep does not always trigger a matching rise in energy burn. Some studies found increased calorie intake during sleep restriction without a meaningful compensatory increase in energy expenditure. And in one experimental study, participants exposed to sleep restriction consumed more calories and gained more weight than during control sleep. So the equation can get ugly fast. More intake, not enough extra burn, more fatigue, more snacking, less control. That is exactly the kind of pattern that slowly pushes body weight upward. Now, here is the part most people relate to immediately. Poor sleep changes the day after. You wake up tired. Your food standards drop. Your patience drops. Your motivation to train drops. And quick energy food becomes much more tempting. So if you keep telling yourself, "I know what to do, I just can't stick to it," sleep may be one of the missing variables. Not the only one, but a real one. 7 strategies. So what should you actually do? Here are 7 practical strategies. 1. Protect sleep, like part of the weight loss plan. If you are serious about body composition, stop treating sleep like optional recovery. The evidence suggests that short sleep increases obesity risk and tends to push energy intake upward, so sleep should be part of the plan, not an afterthought. 2. Aim for a consistent sleep window. Most adults do best with a regular pattern that supports enough total sleep. The broad evidence-based target for adults is at least 7 hours, and often around 7 to 9 hours is the healthiest range. 3. Watch the late-night hunger trap. Sleep restriction often increases evening and snack-related eating, so if your worst food decisions happen late at night, do not only blame self-control. Look at what happened the night before. 4. Stop using caffeine as a substitute for recovery. Caffeine can help alertness short-term, but it does not fix the biological effects of chronic sleep loss. If you keep leaning on stimulants while undersleeping, you may feel functional while still carrying appetite and metabolic disruption underneath. 5. Expect worse cravings after bad sleep and plan for them. Do not improvise on low sleep days. If sleep restriction tends to increase hunger and calorie intake, then the smart move is to make food choices easier in advance. That means simpler meals, more structure, less exposure to random high-calorie snacks. 6. Use movement to limit the spiral. After a short night, hard training may feel worse, but total inactivity usually makes the day even easier to derail. A walk, some light activity, and basic momentum are often better than collapsing into an all-or-nothing mindset. 7. Fix the pattern, not just the symptom. One bad night is not the real issue. The bigger problem is repeated short sleep. That is the pattern most consistently linked with higher obesity risk and worse metabolic outcomes. Closing. So, can poor sleep make you gain weight? It can absolutely make weight gain more likely. Not by magic, but by increasing hunger, increasing calorie intake, worsening glucose control, and making consistency harder to sustain. And that changes the whole conversation. Because if your fat loss plan keeps failing, the problem may not only be your diet, it may be that you are trying to build consistency on top of chronic exhaustion. So here is the message to remember. Do not only ask, "What am I eating?" Also ask, "How am I sleeping?" Because better sleep will not replace good nutrition or movement, but it can make both of them easier, more stable, and far more sustainable. If this video helped you, subscribe for more evidence-based health content. The studies are linked in the description. See you in the next one.